myself. So as Sean says, and if anybody's kind of watching this back on a recording, Sean, and this is our very first live Facebook Live. We have a Facebook Live group called Sean and Stephen's Success Summit. And the whole purpose of, as Sean said, this group is really for anybody that submitted an application through either myself or Sean into the Six Figure Mentors, or an application or become a member. It's really just an opportunity. Once a week, we'll hold this call on a regular Thursday at 8 a.m, subject to, anything else that's happening.
8 p.m.
8 p.m, yeah. Still in British, still in winter time.
Yeah.
And what the purpose really is we are, Sean and I are I always try to relate this to that we're not your support group. We're more of like your account managers or relationship managers in some way. And we can provide technical advice and help and support. We don't know everything, and we're not here to replicate or replace the training that you get within the Six Figure Mentors. We're here just to help and guide you along that path, really. So if you do have any questions then you can post them ahead in the Facebook group during the week, and then myself and Sean can pick them up, review them, and say, right, we don't already know the answer, we can try and find the answer for you. So I think it's a really good way to connect with people, because I think when most people, and anybody watching this video, when you're looking at you're thinking about starting an online business, I've tried it and I've done it before. I've taken courses before, and you're working from home on your own. There's no one to help you. And I think the biggest benefit, and Jay, I'm not sure how far you're into this, but the biggest benefit, and one of the key reasons why I joined Six Figure Mentors, was that when I wanted to start a business, I wanted a business that would allow me to not only meet and network with people and like-minded people, but people who could hold my hand and take me through the process. If you wanted to invest in a Subway franchise, then Subway would not only supply you the shop and the fit out of the shop, but they'd probably give you a mentor to help you over those first 12 months or so. And I think that's really, really imperative, to be able to walk behind somebody who's only 2 or 3 steps ahead of you. You'll probably learn more from those types of people than somebody like, Stuart Ross, who's, right up here and he's been doing it for years and he's made millions, etc. You probably can relate and connect with someone like myself and Sean. So that's really what this group is about. In terms of my background, because I know you guys have come through, Sean, my background is after going to university as a mature student, I then moved into the IT industry. After a couple of years of doing a kind of technical IT role, I then found myself really more of a people's person, and I moved into sales, and I moved into selling IT infrastructure, multi-million-pound contracts for a number of kind of large PLCs in the UK, predominantly selling into public sector organisations in the UK, hospitals, universities, colleges and local government. And I did that from the age of 28 to 43, yeah. But I'd always had this entrepreneur flair about me, or wanting to do something on my own, be my own boss. And, I enjoyed my job, but, a lot of people come into this because they don't enjoy the jobs. I enjoyed my job. But there was a lot of pressure with it, as you can expect at that level. And that pressure made me feel like I was always looking over my shoulder, wondering when I was going to get sacked, And I'd always had this burning desire to just do my own thing. Internet marketing seemed a great way to create a business that you can build around your lifestyle. But at the same time, you're able to, do it from home. And, the idea of learning online skills, because you've got to admit that in the Western world, learning online skills is really, really relevant. And I think Stuart talks about the, affiliate marketing is becoming, and people come into this business not just through affiliate marketing, there's other things that they want to do. But, affiliate marketing is only going to get bigger. Look at, Amazon has grown its business on the back of affiliate marketing. Toys R Us went bust because they didn't have affiliate marketing and they didn't have an e-commerce, presence really. So it really is the future. So you think you've got to view this as, it's a learning, developing skills that can really enhance your career prospects. And Sean and I, so after, I left employment in it was February 2017. Been on my journey here for just over 12 months. Sean and I met at a Momentum Day down in London in April 2014, and then we went to Phoenix in Phoenix, Arizona, to do a DEA Gold event at another Momentum Day, and we live relatively near. I'm in Manchester way. Sean's over in North Wales, and we're both at similar kind of parts of our journey, and we just decided, look, why don't we be accountability partners? And I would certainly recommend that if you go through this and you meet people and you connect with somebody, because we don't, we connect with different types of people, don't we? We don't all connect with each other. If you connect with somebody and you think you can work with them and they can support you and they can help you on your journey, like Sean does with me and vice versa, then I'd certainly recommend that. And this is how we've done it. We've done this accountability call. And we thought, rather than trying to do it on our own, let's do it together and help and share our experiences. So, that's a bit about me. Sorry for going on, and I'll let Sean talk.
Yeah, guys, have you got any questions for Steve at this stage on, anything about his journey and why he joined?
All good.
Yeah, okay. You all right, Diego? Can you hear us?
Good. Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
Great stuff. I'll catch you in a minute.
Right.
Yeah, so if I just go through, if I just go a bit through my sort of journey and background. So I spent most of my working career in the Royal Air Force as a physical training instructor, moved into adventure training where I went more into personal development and people and performance. I then, when I had my first son, looked to leave the Air Force, unsure what I was going to do, did a qualification in HR over 3 years, left the Air Force, went into HR, spent about 8 years in HR, variety of roles. My last role was a bizarre situation where I ended up getting fired on the spot pretty much. It's a long story, which I won't go into in this webinar, but it then led me to look at setting up like a coaching business, and that was the way I spent more time on YouTube, started to see what I didn't realize at the time was adverts for SFM, became quite curious, and then as I started watching the videos, got really excited, and then decided to step into it. And it's been an amazing journey. I've been in just over a year now. There's been some very high highs, a couple of lows where inevitably you get stuck or feel a little bit overwhelmed, but it's the community. And I suppose this is what we're creating at a sub level with our own little Facebook group. It's that sense of community where, reaching out to people being able to help you just makes you, progress. And sometimes the other good thing is, I would say that the best advice, if you are feeling like, can I do it? I'm feeling stuck, is to actually look at helping somebody that's a little bit behind you, because that's the best thing that you can do to take you out of that, bottom of the bathtub. And that certainly worked very well for me. And as Steve said, we met a couple of times, got on well, and then we started to become accountability partners. And this is where a lot of this has come from, really. It's gone, right, let's do this. And when you've got somebody there to support and share the responsibility, you can actually make some really good progress in your business. Jake, do you want to, just give us a little bit about, your reason, what you were doing, and what you're looking to change in your life by joining SFM, and then we'll have a little chat to Diego, and he can do a similar thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where to start really. It's obviously just I haven't actually been left school that long. To be honest, I left school about 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
6 years.
Yeah.
I haven't really had any. So I've been into carpentry the last 5 years. I'd spent a lot of that time not really earning very well. Didn't really feel like I was being treated like I was actually knew what I was doing after a certain amount of time. And, so I worked my way through that, and I built myself up, and then I didn't find myself getting anywhere. So what I actually done was change carpentry companies. Now I'm a contractor, so I'm taking jobs on price. It's much better money, much better. This is why I feel like the first sort of thing that really pushed me in this direction was because I felt like I'd got to the top of my game. And it still feels like I'm at the bottom. It doesn't feel like I'm anywhere near where I want to be. I've always been quite a spiritual person myself. I say always. Over the last three years, it's been really, really growing on me. I've learned a lot about myself. I couldn't even tell you who I really was 3 years ago. I don't know what was going through my head. Obviously, I'm not really from a computer tech background, but I find that I can pick things up relatively quick. I find I can learn pretty quick, and when I've got my mind on something, I can really sort of drive and go for the goals. And obviously, I'm here for the bigger goals. I'm here to change my life, my family's life, my friends' families' lives. You know, I'm not just here to get a bit of money and quit my job. You know, I am really here. And ever since I've sort of heard about this community and everything I've learned so far, it's madness. You know, I've only really got sort of two close friends around here, and it'd be good to grow on that.
And it's some great stuff there in terms of you said that you don't recognise yourself from say 3 or 4 years ago in terms of how you've developed and how you've grown, and having that open mindset and a willingness to self-improve, but also willing to change your life as well as other people's. It's a great philosophy, and that's a really, really good fit in this community. And as you go on to more of the webinars, you'll make more connections, and it'll just, not that you need reinforcing, but you'll add a lot of value as well, and you'll just find it's a very, it's full of very like-minded people, all from very, very different backgrounds, but that similar philosophy and desire is I want to make differences in my life, and I want to help change other people's lives as well. So, you're absolutely in the right place. And, we've had a conversation, and your desire and determination to succeed, and whatever success looks like and means to you, then, not only will you benefit, but, we'll all benefit from that as well. So thanks for sharing that. And, how have you found this very early stages in your journey then within SFM?
That's it. I mean, I find myself already having ups and downs, but I find I am very much sort of committed to going ahead and going through with it and really pushing myself out there. But obviously, you've still got something niggling away in the back of your head saying, "What if?" I take control of that a lot of the time. I find obviously through my spirituality I can sort of overcome them. Obviously, that's just that's how I'm finding it so far. I can't say I've got very, very far through all the modules yet. I'm kind of keen to learn to know how it all works and gets put together, etc.
Fantastic. And just just keep patient, because it's like I want to start marketing, and it's about putting the foundations in place, particularly the module 2 around the blueprint. It really starts to get you to sort of start to think and clarify, and you've got obviously some clarity and vision around where you want to be and the reasons for that. So that's it's excellent.
I'm just curious, when did you actually join, and how long, what was it?
I must have seen the video. The 7 video series must have started probably. I must have finished watching the last one about 4 or 5 days ago.
You joined then. You quite recently then,
Yeah, fairly recently,
and then you joined, and then very quickly positioned as essential member. So you've taken swift action there. So just keep working through the modules at your pace. The other good thing I would say is, you're aware of that, some of the things going on for you in terms of, you still get these niggly voices. If it's any consolation, that never goes away. Whatever, people say the bigger the level, the bigger the devil. It's just part of the thing. But the first and most important part is that self-awareness. Because if we're not aware that we're getting these voices and everyone gets them, then we can't really do anything about it. We'll ignore it because we won't be aware it's there. And then it's probably going to, cause us some problems further down the line. It's also a sign as well that when you're feeling some resistance, that's great, because it means you are stepping out of your comfort zone, and that will then be your new comfort zone, and then you'll step to the next level. And again, that will feel a bit uncomfortable, but that's a lot better than being totally comfortable, because if you're totally comfortable, you probably not move forward as you can do, or regressed. So thanks for that, Jake. I really appreciate you coming out and sharing that.
What would you say was the reason why, what got you to subscribe? Because obviously there'll be people who's maybe watching this and they've been through the 7-day video series and they're like, oh, I'm not sure about this. What was the difference that kind of got you to take that next step?
I'd say, honestly, when you're watching most of these things, and then you're seeing obviously other people have all these how to make money. All you find them talking about is the money and how well they're doing, and they're talking about themselves. But as soon as I sort of recognise the spirituality side and the community side and the connectivity side, it's just really started to appeal to me. And it's not something I found myself getting strange feelings. It was almost like I was supposed to come across this. This is something that I'm supposed to give a go.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's good. Excellent.
And it's something when you're saying there about, it's not all about the money. Money's important. It will be. I wouldn't deny that it is. It's for me. It's a vehicle. It's a mechanism to allow the choices and the flexibility in your life for you and other people. And if your message in your marketing is all about money, will attract the people that just want to earn money quickly. And all that will happen is they'll join, they won't earn the money in the speed they want because it's just not an automated cash machine, and then they'll drop out. So it's about, the right message will attract the right people. I think we've just lost your video a bit. Oh, there you're back, Jake.
When you're marketing is, and your I suppose your value proposition is making money, then you attract people who want to. I think there's a perception, isn't that with the internet, that you click a few buttons and suddenly the money starts rolling in, and it's anything but like that, because you're effectively learning new skills, and that takes time. It takes perseverance. Yeah. And so I think definitely that's one of the big things that we focus on is the kind of personal development. I think to be an entrepreneur and live an entrepreneur lifestyle, you have to have an element of resistance about you, and that takes character. So cool.
And just unmute Diego. Hi, Diego. That's it. You should be unmuted now. Yeah. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Great.
I'm good.
So,
how are you?
Yeah, very good. And thanks for coming on the call. How are the kids? Are they tucked up in bed?
Yes. I managed to get Hanaya, the eldest one, around maybe about before I joined.
Yeah.
So they're all in bed. Happy days.
Oh, good. Yeah. So what I would say is that, this is like a really informal webinar. If your kids want to sit on your lap or just want to see what dad is up to, that's absolutely fine. My son sometimes appears at the moments where I don't expect it, so that's absolutely cool. So Diego, we've obviously had a few conversations, but I think it'd be useful for Jake and also for Steve as well, just to give us a flavour of your background, you know, your reason for joining SFM, and how you found your journey in the time that you've been with us so far.
Right. In terms of background, I'm an electrical engineer by trade. Graduated in 2010, and I joined Yorkshire Electricity Board, which is called Northern Power Grid.
Yeah.
Worked with them till about last year, 2017, so 7 years. But then I just wanted a change at that point. So things were not going well in the company, and I wanted a new journey. So I joined the Electricity Northwest, which covers Manchester and, you know, all the way up to Carlisle and south, just north side of Wales. So started there as an electrical control engineer with them in Manchester. But, you know, for the last maybe about a couple of years, I've just felt like I wasn't, you know, fulfilled, or, you know, I was happy with the job, but it's just you don't really know where you're going. You know, all you do is you work. You work for people, but you're not, you know, you don't feel like you're making the progress that you want. So one day, I can't remember, it was early January, I think. I was just on the internet watching much of no Arsenal fan TV, because I'm an Arsenal fan, and there was an advert. I usually just skip through the advert, but then Sean was there, and I'm like, who's this dude? I didn't realize what is he talking about. But
he was an Arsenal fan.
Say that again.
I didn't realise Sean was an Arsenal fan.
No, I'm not.
No, he wasn't.
That's why you were advertising on Arsenal. Is that?
I know.
That must be a key word you're keeping quiet.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Well, I typed in losers, and it must have just gone onto Arsenal TV.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it must have been just one of those YouTube adverts.
Yeah.
It must have come through YouTube, and then I don't know. It was just something about Sean. So I thought, well, let me just listen to what he's got to say, and he started talking about you know, working for yourself, and, you know, if you're not happy in what you do, you can always work for yourself, working online, you know, the lifestyle, is it digital lifestyle? That's it. And also what really caught my attention was the fact that he started talking about Rich Dad Poor Dad, and at that time it was a book that I started reading. So when he mentioned it, it sort of just clicked, and I went, oh, wow, this is, you know, there's a connection here. So I listened to him more, and then he says, you know, if you're interested, you know, click the link in this video. So I clicked on the link, and, you know, here we are. Ended up joining the SFM, and didn't meet, but I listened to Stuart Ross. And oh my God, it's just amazing, you know, the way he talks, the way he explains stuff, and the way he puts his message across was just fabulous. So I said, well, you know, it's just something that I'd like to give a go. You know, I feel like I've got a connection with this the community, and, you know, what they're all about. You know, especially the family side, because I wanted in future, what I want to achieve is your financial freedom, and also, you know, where I'm not worried about money anymore, but I've got time to help out. I've got a big family that I'd love to spend a lot of time with, and, you know, just going on holiday, you know, when you want. Or I've got a sister in South Africa, and it's like, because she lives far, there's money involved. If you want to travel as a family, it costs a lot of money. So, you know, I don't want that to be like a barrier, or you know, something to think twice about. If I want to go and see them, my nieces, my family, I just want to be able to do it. If I want to do something with my wife here and the kids, I just want to be able to say, okay, fine, I'm not working tomorrow, let's just go to, you know, Center Parcs, or you know, somewhere nice.
Yeah.
But at the moment, you know, because you're working for somebody, you need that authorization to get a holiday or take a day off. So it's that's my aim, really. And I think with SFM, when I looked at the different the even when you go into DEA,
yeah,
you've got a way of like the import-export expert at the moment, which I'm sort of getting involved with, where you've got a mentor, just like Stephen said, you've got somebody there that's teaching you the steps, helping you out. It's not easy. It's very tough. I've seen that. I've seen the marketing side as well. It's really hard, really hard. But there are people out there, ready to help you out. So this is one of the things that I really appreciate about the SFM, and I'm quite happy to have joined. Things are not going the way I would have wanted it to go, but it's life. You hate, you've got good and bad times, but you just have to keep at it. And so that's where we are at the moment. Don't know if you've got any questions or.
The import and export, just something, anybody who's watching is part of the so with the SFM, there's many different routes that you can go through to, in terms of starting a business, whether that's affiliate marketing, whether that's, building your own kind of website to support maybe an existing business that you've got. And the route that you've chosen to go down is the import exports, which is basically looking at taking or creating your own physical product. Sourcing that from China, and then shipping that over to Amazon fulfillment services. So Amazon do that. So you put your product in Amazon, you do the marketing around it, and Amazon basically store it, ship it to the customer. And if there's any rejections or refunds, Amazon take it all back. They do all that. So all you need to do, isn't it, when you're running a physical products business, is you just need to concentrate on the creative thing, which is the sourcing of the products, and then putting your own brand around that.
That's the main thing.
Something I've not. I've thought about it. Doing like creating my own protein drinks. Like you source. You can source pharmaceutical, is that, or nutritional companies in the UK, and you can, you've got maybe, approved quality standards, and you can get, whey protein as an example, put your own, using like elance.com or to do the artwork and the labeling, and you get that done. The supplier does all that for you, and suddenly you've got your own ready-made products, haven't you? It can be done. It's not, I know you said it's hard, but Amazon have taken a lot of the grunt work out of that. That's one of the reasons why Amazon's business is doing so well, is because of the affiliates. Sorry to go on a tangent, but I was actually funny because I was on a webinar myself, because I like to do a bit of stock trading. And these guys were showing me the stock chart of Amazon, and they were saying, in 1998, Amazon was going through this pattern, and the price of Amazon was at $24, at the time, and now they're at $1,300 for a share. That's like a 98%.
Boom.
Not 8%. I think it's like a 98,000% increase. Phenomenal. Anyway, I digress, but that's just for anybody who's watching. That's what, when you talk about import exports, it's about Amazon and sourcing products and putting them in Amazon. Cool.
So, that's a good thing. But like I spoke to Sean recently. I think it was early last month. When we were talking about marketing and that. Because I've done all the modules, and I've got to the point where you need to start, going online, putting out ads and everything. So I was stuck with Bing. I think he gave me some. You gave me the name of a lady, some details. But with work at the moment, we're just finishing a very, very peak season at work. So end of March, mid-April. That's when like everything sort of cools down. So that's when I need to progress that as well. So a bit greedy at the moment. Try to try things that will work for me, really. Taking advantage of the DEA. What can I say? What the DEA courses offer. I've not touched on DEA Gold. I don't really know what's involved, because I've gone up to Gold, but I've not done anything Gold related. So
okay, so I'll tell you what I think might be useful is for Jake's benefit, for us all as well, and anyone that might be watching the recording, is just tell us some of your thought processes. You know, you came in, you obviously submitted your application, you went to Essential Member, and then you repositioned at that point. So just talk us through the stages you went and what your thoughts were, you know, in terms of how you arrived at the decision to position ultimately at Gold and obviously via Elite.
When I joined, I can't remember the steps. I think it's before Elite Plus, is it Essential Member?
Yes, yeah.
So I joined, you know, from the video. I said, well, I'll, you know, we'll give it a go and see what's involved. Then we had, I think you need to go. I went through some modules before, you know, before module 2. You've got like I can't remember, like a webinar type of thing with JPA.
Yeah, the OC1 or OC1 or 2, I think.
Yeah. So I did that. I was prepared. I even suggested that, you know, I go on it because they took 2 people.
Yeah.
And you were live and you were just talking about your experience so far. So I did that, and at the end, you know, just throughout that time, the webinar, you know, I was really touched with what JJ was saying. You know, all the reasons why, you know, SFM is a good product and why, you know, he believes in it himself. And then I thought, oh, this is really great. Then he touched on the sort of packages that you can have, you know, depending on what you want to achieve, what you want to do. They've got, you know, stuff in place, and the mentorship was, to me, is the main thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you can achieve greatness without a good mentor. Yeah. And they were talking about like a football player. They say, listen, if you've got a kid that loves to play football, can that kid become a professional, you know, just by himself? And I said, no. He says, why? You need the right structure as well as a mentor, and this is what SFM can provide as well. So from there, and I went away and I thought about it, and I said, well, this is really good. So I looked into you know, the different layers, and I had an interview with with Mark as well. And then we sat down and asked him, you know, loads of questions, and he answered it, you know, greatly. And I thought, well, if I position myself as high as I can, when I get the grips of, you know, the marketing, and that's going to be ideal, because, you know, we're looking at the product that you can sell as a DEA partner, the commission that you get, you know, all the support that you get. I looked at that Import Expert and, you know, everything else. And I thought, well, what I'll do is, at the moment, because I'm really pumped up, I'm going to go and position myself as high as I can get, and then just walk my way through. Because I didn't want to leave it 2 or, you know, a month down the line and start doubting myself, you know, saying, oh, I don't think I want to do it. At that moment, I was just, there was something inside of me that just said, listen, just go for it. You're sure that's the right thing, go for it, and then you won't regret it. And, you know, here we are. That's really...
I think it's a way of, when you make a commitment to do something, the bigger the commitment, the more it holds your feet to the fire.
Yeah.
And like you said, so if you only make a small commitment, it's easy to give up, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, well, I've not really lost anything.
Yeah.
Right. So I you know, so when you make a big commitment, like you know, like what you've said, well, do you know what? This isn't a flash in the pan. An education process, and if it takes me 12, 18, 2, 3, 4, or 5 years to get that education, like it probably did probably did for you to go to and get your, you know, electronics whatever qualifications. It probably took you a good few years to do that. So this is no different. And I think that's the beauty of it. But if you can earn and learn at the same time, yeah, then it takes the pressure off, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, happy days. So, any more questions, Sean?
You're muted, Sean.
You're muted.
I should know what I'm doing if I'm supposed to be in control of this thing. Yeah, no, it's been really useful to hear that. And I think for yourself, Jake, there's a couple of things, and we touched on the other day, but the conversation I've had with Jake, he's super keen, very fired up, as you've said, you've heard, very determined.
Yeah.
And I briefly touched on that there's different pathways, and it's really about, working through the modules and getting a better understanding. And, Jake, have you done you mentioned about you were on the live webinar. Have you been on that one now?
That's the orientation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through that,
Yeah, you've been on that one. Okay, you've done that one. Yeah. So, in terms of where you're at now, and where anyone's at, it's absolutely the right level to be at for that point in time. And then as you find more out, you can make more informed decisions. The difference between essential member and elite is the fact that at elite, when you get other elite or people come in and position at elite, you get a much higher commission. And Diego was saying there, part of his thought process was, I want to position as high as I can. And that means that you get those higher level commissions. So it's not a conversation we want to go into in any depth. It's just give you some background. The other thing where Diego's positioned at gold is he gets access to one-on-one coaching from some of the most successful and experienced digital marketers within SFM. So that's a really good resource. And you can book 30-minute coaching calls with them. It's more viable then to advertise on YouTube. If you're at elite, with what you might spend on marketing, you'd probably be breaking even at elite. So elite's a really good level. It's just where you want to market. The other thing at gold is you can do the import experts, which is like the silver level. That's within the gold. And also at gold is you just, because of that more in-depth education, you could also work with other businesses, possibly a local, as a digital marketing consultant. So there's just different avenues, but it's just to give you that understanding of the pathway. It's really more about just working your way through, and then you'll have calls with your business consultant about discussing what are the options and what feels right for you.
I think the thing is, again, just for anybody listening and for Jake, is that sometimes you can get a bit confused by it.
Yeah.
The way you do it, just to try and give you an analogy, and the way I view it is, it's all like an integrated product portfolio. Yeah, is think about Apple. Yeah, so you go into Apple, and I remember I'd never had an Apple device in my life up until a few years ago, probably about a bit longer than that, but never. People had Apple devices, and I had never had an Apple device. And then one day I thought, do you know what? I'll buy an iPod. Yeah. And I went in and I bought, an iPod, which was they're not cheap, but the entry product. Yeah. And then once I had that and I saw value in that, I then got an iPad. Yeah. And then once I kind of upgraded. And then once I got an iPad, I was like, oh, I just love this Apple stuff. It's great. Then I got an iPhone. And because it's all integrated as a portfolio, and you got iTunes, and there's none of trying to, this doesn't work with this and this doesn't work with that. It's just seamless. It just makes it just from a user experience just so nice. And then the next thing from that, it just had to be an iMac. I just had to get a MacBook Pro, and it's the greatest device I've ever bought. It's amazing. and I would never use anything else. But that's for me, you know, I started my journey with an iPod, then it was an iPad, then it was an iPhone, and then it was a Mac, a MacBook Pro, and it's very similar. Just to kind of, for anybody listening, it's just a very similar process. We all have different entry points. Some people come into the Apple shop and they just go, right, I'm just going to go for a Mac straight away and buy a £3,500 MacBook Pro, and then some people, you know, come in at a different level, and then eventually they'll work their way up to that. So that's just to hope for that, try and simplify it for you.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy, Steve. So, Diego, you said that it's maybe not happened in either as quick a time as you want, or it's balancing, you know, the busyness of work. What are the main challenges that you've been facing, or, you know, what's going on for you now that's maybe holding you back, and is there something potentially that we can help you with or can change to progress you further forward in a quicker time?
I think at the moment it's just April, March, not even April, March really.
Yeah.
It's just a busy time at work.
Yeah.
Because I did really well between me joining in January up until early March. You know, pressed through all the courses and everything. But I think it's just this time of the year where we've got, you know, a financial report to submit. Yeah. At work, and obviously I live in Yorkshire, so it takes me, it's about an hour, well, it's about just under 3 hours drive there and back every day. So leave early, spend the whole day at work, and then drive back. So by the time you get home, you're a bit tired, you know, and then you've got the family and that. So I think at this moment it's just a bit of tiredness and you know, just busy with work stuff. So it's just literally once this month, this period goes away, then I think I'll get back on track. I think it's not really to do with not too much to do with the marketing or the SFM. I think it's just me personally at the moment. It's a bit, you know, I'm not in the right mind frame, you know, really focused, because I started doing, like, even waking up quite early to do the modules and that was fine. But I think when it comes to marketing, it's more than just, you know, listening to the module and going through them. You need to really bring in your own touch, your own personal touch, and how you want to market, finding your the people you want to market to, you know, and all that. I think you really need to give it your all, and, you know, be right in here. So I think at the moment I'm not really. I don't feel like I'm at that level where I'm really focused and I can give 100%. So
I think what I would say though,
go on.
It's what's really, really important. You know, I talk about momentum a lot. You know, it's momentum in sport and how we can shift in a match from a team suddenly winning half time comes in and lose momentum. And I know from my own personal experience, you know, where I've tried, I tried an Amazon business, and it wasn't that the business didn't work. It was just that I let work, and I know work is because we have to pay the etc. Family and your health and but if you